Up.
You should be. Welcome back to the God Cap. The
All right,
God
yeah, this
Cap.
is Wolves Den number 5. The Moids are here. All right, so where do we start? Let's get into it. I guess we're starting with we can start with Chainsaw Man since we was already kind of got the ball rolling. So we were talking about the concept of like before we we get into the nitty gritty of the plot. I guess just like yeah, we were talking about if the existence of like devils in like Chainsaw Man, if they were like static or not, right?
Yeah,
Which is
because
like
it's weird because then there's fiends and there's everything in that but then also there's a really really weak devil. I like that fucking the chicken devil and everything like that, or maybe he's just a chicken fiend. I can't remember.
I think he was a fiend.
It's hard to tell because it's really hard to tell.
That's the thing is like I was looking at that and I'm like, bro, this is definitely one of the cases of him just making shit up. Because who's scared of that? And then it's like, okay, but people being very little like scared of it is exactly why it's weak the way it is. But then it's like, is it the fear that exists for it to even like be there? Is it coming from the fact that they know that he's a devil? But like, because it's like, there's nobody that's scared of this chicken. He literally is fragile as fuck. Like,
I mean, there's those times people run away from chickens on farms and such. So honestly, it might be really the minimalist amount of fear.
I guess yeah, if you just got like an inherent fear of files, like yeah, you got like anthopia or anthophobia or something, whatever the fuck that shit's called.
So honestly,
wait, no, that's a fear of plants. What's that shit with your fear of birds?
Oh, I have no idea. They got so many weird names for it. I mean, because I guess I don't know. I feel like it might be one of them things where,
ornithophobia. There you go.
Ornithophobia.
Yeah, like maybe all the ornithophobia people are scared of what was his name? Bucky.
Bucky the chicken. Yeah.
Whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah. But yeah, so
I almost think that it could be related to that more so. That honestly, they all just kind of do exist in a smallest way possible too. But as things scale on, they become more prevalent and seen. Like I almost feel like there could just be a speck of a devil in a way, or he could just still be in hell.
Like imagine a chibi version of like the hell devil, because all of a sudden people just got uninterested in hell. Like everybody just randomly became like atheists. But how are people even still believing in like hell and heaven as a concept, or like even be afraid of like, or even because think about it. The only existence of the population that exists is people that's born within fucking 3 months. Everybody else is dead. So like a good portion of religion beliefs are like gone. Like
I mean, not because they lost like millions.
Shouldn't all the devils just inherently be like weaker because of the gut devil after just killing?
Oh no, he killed millions and such, but he didn't kill billions. So they're like. It's still like
he killed everybody within 10 months out of the year, or 9 months out of the year. If you were born within the 9 months, he killed you. Was it only in Japan?
No, he killed everybody all around the world. Yeah, but it was just like in the thousands for like that big event, and then like there was when he went to fight Denji, went to go fight Nakima. And he killed like maybe a couple thousand more or something, maybe a couple hundred more. But in total, I guess he's killed like only like maybe somewhere around over a million, a little over a million.
So that doesn't make any sense because they said he specifically killed everybody that exists that was born within them 9 months.
No, I don't think so.
Because we were just reading over that information. Let me see.
Yeah, I just went back through. I don't think I saw like. He killed anybody, like killed everybody. It was just he just went killing a bunch of niggas. Cause then Aki lived and everything like that, and all the niggas who was coming after him.
Well, yeah, obviously he didn't kill everybody. I said he killed everybody within them 9 months.
Yeah, that's all. Like just the people before that. But I don't think it was like time specific. But yeah, I think he just kind of went killing a bunch of people, and not specifically, I guess, the people in between the months, but just people.
Where did I see that shit?
And then yeah. Damn, I forgot how kind of downplayed the Gun Devil was kind of played, because they were just like, well, first of all, we got primordial devils in hell, where that shit ain't no Gun Devil being a concern. And I was like, oh yeah.
Where did I see that information at?
Yeah, fuck them. Because yeah, I went through. I don't think I saw it.
We were just talking about it too, because I brought it up and we were like,
it might be a Mandela. But nah, that shit was.
It says because he specifically wouldn't kill during April, July, or in October. Oh yeah, well no, it's right here. Yeah. He fired a bullet through the heart of every living thing born in January, February, March, May, June, August, September, November, or December. Yeah. That's why I was like, I don't know. Maybe he just kind of threw random numbers up there, but I was like, I don't know, man. Everybody born within January and all of those other months would be a lot more than 1 million or 570,000.
Because yeah, that's what he racked his numbers up to, at least for that. Well, no, I guess that was maybe the first event. But no, then after the first event, he didn't really come back and do anything.
Sounds like my mic is speaking. Let me turn my shit down.
Because yeah, I remember Makima talking about the first event, and then he was like, he just got killed like niggas. And then after that, he kind of just went dormant, or whatever he was doing.
Wait, he went what?
I think he kind of just disappeared and yeah, just went dormant or so, because yeah, they couldn't find him and they couldn't really.
Didn't he get beaten inside the Aki form?
Well, yeah, but I'll say like between then.
In between then.
When they were still looking for him, yeah, he just after the first event when he just murked all the niggas, just dipped.
All right, so
which weird.
We're now on part 2. We already covered everything. And part 1, we haven't really been, obviously there was a hiatus, and I feel like Chainsaw Man was kind of like our main thing that we were digesting on pretty much. So when that went on hiatus, Juju kind of went through the Culling Game era and whatever was happening before that, and that shit just got confusing. We kind of fell off. I'm caught up now, but speaking of which, I was just rereading through the fucking Culling Game, and yeah, I was just reading that judge fight, the fight where we fought Hiragama or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, homeboy lawyer nigga.
Yeah. Hiromi.
Yeah, and he was trying to get his points or whatever, and he made him feel guilty about the whole Sukuna, or I guess he was testing him in a sense, and it was just
because he was like, yeah, I did it, and I was like, what? I remember when I saw that, that whole chapter, I was so confused because I was like, okay, yeah, retrial, and then that nigga said, I'm guilty again.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was just funny because I was like, bro, is there gonna be a trick? Is the trick, yeah, you just say you're guilty and you let off, and it's like, no, you're just not guilty. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool too, I guess. That kind of, takes away all the tension that was there.
I love how back then, the whole him being an iron shell ass nigga to the point. That's what made me stop reading, is seeing him get his curse energy removed, and he just so happened to be able to still stand on his own too and fight this nigga. But then I was like, now it's something that's actually wrapped into the whole premise of the plot, and something that we comfortably all know, that Itadori is a cursed wound who, is inherently just tough shit.
Yeah,
the fact that nigga grew a giant mallet and smacked that nigga, and he was just like that was the moment that he was like, all right, now this shit is getting, I might die. I need to do something. Not the times that nigga slammed you in the side of your body, was constantly whacking you with a hammer and everything. That nigga he didn't give a fuck about none of that.
Yeah, but then I don't know. There's times he's definitely gotten mixed up before, a lot worse than he showed when he got back up from Sukuna's hit, and that's kind of interesting because it's like, bro, I don't know. You've always been kind of tough stuff, but when like when Homeboy, the special grade curse. Now, mind you, there's a special grade curse, and this was still Itadori starting out. But then it chopped off his hand and shit like that, and that does explain why he was able to hold Sukuna in pretty well, because he's a whatever he is, a curse wound, which might have been made specifically to hold
he's like
that
a
nigga.
Barrier.
Essentially,
he within himself. Well, no, because I think Kenjaku was saying that he turned his mom into a barrier, or he placed a barrier around her womb, and I guess that just kind of got transferred over to Itadori. Now, we might be butchering this, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all. There's a lot of things about Jujutsu Kaisen that I just don't understand. A lot of this shit is definitely just a wild guess interpretation of a lot of the stuff that this nigga say. I got way more of an understanding of what the fuck is going on in Chainsaw Man and what's happening in these other manga, but Jujutsu Kaisen, I'll tell you, I can see the influence for Bleach, because there's a lot of things that Jujutsu Kaisen throws out that I'm just like, I need to reread that, like, I might have to come back.
Definitely not putting it in the most eloquent way. Like, he's just, I don't know. He's going in a whole weird battle manga way that kind of detract the story, because it's just like, oh, Deus Ex Machina, let's throw it in. Which I guess we knew was coming. But.
And the crazy thing is, Hunter, like, I see a lot of people that constantly compare these two, like, that the fact that it's so hard to, like, follow, and the power system's so complicated, and all these, like, concepts that they're throwing at you are just so hard to, like, fathom the first time you read it. But and they compare it to Hunter, but it's like Hunter, I feel like Hunter was never really hard to follow or to understand any of the concepts. Or I always complimented the Nin system and the power system, and how descript, like, how detailed and great it is.
I mean, it was so loose. Yeah. It was a loose system where you could literally ninja forms on whatever the nigga's personality.
It's literally just like, personality. Okay. It matches your personality. If you set a more difficult rule, the stronger it is, and you just have to follow that rule. And that was like, the whole idea just made sense. And then later on, like, when they're going to the right now, they're trying to get into, like, the Dark Continent, or they're going through the Dark Continent art. And honestly, yeah, or they just finished the Dark Continent art.
No, they're on the boat. Yeah, they're on the boat.
Well, yeah, like I watched the whole video, and he said, I guess the fans have dubbed, like, the couple chapters and stuff that he just wrapped up or whatever as the Dark Continent art, and whatever's happening when he comes back from hiatus is called something else. So I'm just going based off what Reddit was saying.
Oh, okay, so they got the release shit right now, at least that we got. Yeah.
So yeah, well, like, right now, the arc that he's going through, there's a lot of, like, word vomit and, like, long, like, paragraphs. So it's like, it's not necessarily hard to follow. He just throws out a lot on the plate that just might look at and just get discouraged about reading. But it's not that none of the stuff that he's putting on page is hard to follow. This shit is just hard. Like, it's hard to understand a lot of the shit that happens in this shit. Some of the words they use are, like, because, like, with Hunter, it's like, it could be, like, maybe a vocabulary thing. Maybe I have to actually slowly read what he's saying, consume the whole word vomit, maybe, look up the definition of a certain word or something like that. But with Jujutsu Kaisen, it's like, oh, these words are specifically exclusive to this series, and if you didn't get a good handle on the concept of how some of these things work and how these powers work, or whatever the fuck, if you didn't understand the basis of, like, how this power system works, you're probably not gonna understand, like when, for example, when Kajaku was fighting the what was her name? It's like Yoko, right? The blonde chick.
Yeah, that one chick. Yeah, with the, like, living sword thing. I'll never remember her name because she was just here to die. She wasn't
just here to die.
She was just here to die.
She was around for a while.
No, she was introduced. She went in background forever, and then when she came back, it was for a badass fight in which she would die.
Well, yeah, that's what she was in the background doing this whole entire time, fighting that nigga.
No, she was just doing some other shit, and then, like, okay, no, now it's Now we got to pull the heavy hitters out.
Well, she was with Chozo.
Not like the whole. I mean, just over her whole time in like in JJK.
Well, not in JJK, but I'm talking about like she came. Well, first of all, she was there before because she was like, wasn't she in the prequel thing with that nigga?
Yeah, she was like an old whatchamacallits.
Yeah, like, and then she popped out when shit was going over, and Kenjaku like revealed his plan, and he was starting like the whole curses in, and she was there, and then she went in the background, and the whole time she was, I thought I was pretty aware that, or I thought we was all aware that she was looking for him. She was looking for Kenjaku.
They were doing stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. She was just looking like oh hey yeah, I'm this person, so then let me go find out and do all the background shit like that, and then pop back up to die. So it's like
I mean, we are talking about Kenjaku though, so that was like.
I mean, yeah, that was kind of the issue. That was kind of the issue because it's like, okay, well, this is good. It's definitely an all or nothing fight, which is cool, but yeah, this character is definitely dead because she's fighting like the main villain or one of the main villains, and yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna. I mean, they were planned. They had the best plan possible, and they still just got mixed up by the nigga.
Oh, her name was Yuki. So not Yoko. Yeah, I know it was like a Y name, Yuki. But yeah, like when Yuki like got split in half, and then she like woke up on the floor and she turned into a black hole. The concept of like how he explained, like, or like what he was saying, and how he survived, where he was like, "Oh yeah, reverse curse technique." I was like,
yeah, he just talking a bunch
of. What the hell are you talking?
I mean, because now they just keep explaining everybody healing and everything with reverse.
So isn't that what he said?
Yeah, because you'd use reverse curse technique to heal yourself and shit like that. But it's just like, it's so weird. It's becoming weird, and the system is just weird. They don't.
It's like I get it. You take the curse negative energy, and then you put the positive energy together. You create positive energy by taking two curse energy and then multiplying them one. Like, so.
No, I think it might actually even be you just. Because then it's like.
You take negative energy and you turn it into positive energy by taking two sources of curse energy and then multiplying them by one another. Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, it just. I understand it. I just don't know how it works, actually. Like, in reality. Like.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think it's even more. They just canceling out the technique. It's just hyper healing or some shit like that.
Yeah,
it's just weird.
That's where the positive energy they take negative energy, turn it into positive energy, and that's just it. But it's just in that instance, like what was happening? Like you were getting sucked into the black hole, so therefore you just stayed in the black hole until it was over by constantly healing yourself. Like
just hyper heal. Or with that whole gravity thing he can do, probably just reverse the polarity of the kind of shit like that. But that's just JJK. That shit really just doesn't make sense, and even when he explains it, it really still doesn't make sense. Because it's kind of funny hearing people in videos kind of explain it, but that also doesn't really make too much sense.
Honestly, if you figure out how that. If you get a grasp or a good understanding of how that works, you also understand how fucking Gojo works too.
Oh yeah, and then that's just a big anomaly on its own.
He uses reverse curse technique reversal to feel his limitless technique, which is like he kept applying positive energy. What he's feeling his technique with positive energy, which brings infinite. Yeah. Some stupid shit like that. I don't know.
Essentially just like putting you in super overdrive so your brain moves at 1,000,000 and you can just I mean it only really works for somebody like him because when he actually uses it on anybody else they just sit there and can't do anything and just get overwhelmed by the infinite. Which is just I don't know, some chosen one bull, which is it's like at this point Gojo's just been gone so long, it's like I don't know. I'm waiting for JJK. Like now they're doing some cool stuff now. It's cool right now because they're doing a whole, Fushiguro getting taken and Sukuna going to plunge that nigga into a deep kind of like a deep takeover state. Like he really body snatched that nigga.
Yeah, now. Honestly, literally, like that doesn't even like everything about like it's so crazy to be reading a series that's a battle manga, and some of the attacks themselves are things that just can't even be comprehended. Like the fact that he has an ability where it's like, I'll put you in a domain and I just put you in an endless void where your just mind is just overloaded with information until you're just left in a catatonic space. That's not even really an aggressive move. It's just something that fucks you. Which is the cool thing about domain expansion, is because they don't have, and I think that's the that was the cool thing about Nin, is that when you actually have battle like abilities, and they don't even have to be dedicated to actually attacking or do any like that nigga domain expansion is literally just a court case. Or
yeah. And the weird thing about it though is like it's like domain is just really broken for the fact of, I mean, of course it consumes a lot of power, so I'd hope it would consume a lot of power and be broken for the amount of power it consumes. But then it's just the fact of, you niggas cannot avoid your attacks whatsoever if you just have a greater domain. I was like, that kind of locks a lot of fights to or seemingly I thought it would lock a lot of fights to just, okay, well, it's going to be pretty one-sided when the nigga with the stronger domain,
Yeah, that's the thing, is that's what they were saying, is that the non-lethal domains kind of just went away because there was more users that had more aggressive ones, so it was just like...
Because it's like, I don't know, every time... Because either way, even if you have a non-lethal one, the principle of, okay, you have this guy in your space, he still can't avoid your attacks. It's just... But then they also have simple domain, which is just a small domain to protect you from a big domain, or all that. And I'm like, man, all right, we're getting into that bag, huh?
Which all of that is stuff that I can follow in that makes sense.
Domain shit's kind of it's all power based too, so it doesn't just come up based on like who he feels is.
Domains is a concept that is easy for me to understand, because domain and domain expansions is just, it's almost on par with Nin. Like it's just that I can understand, but it's just some of the abilities that these people do that I don't understand. And I think there's Nin abilities that I also still don't understand either. Like they're just a weird concept that I'm just like, I can't think of anything right now, because I think most of the ones that I do recall are ones that I think those two do understand.
The two twins, the two princes, like the not twins, but the two princes with that whole thing. It's just weird.
The two princes?
Yeah, well, they're all princes, but the two girls who, like the ones with the door and the worm, and they're like
door and the worm.
See, that's Nin.
That's all I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the Nin beats, where they can open.
Oh, you're talking about recent shit. So this is like Spirit Beast stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really seen too, like, because like I said, I'm still a little bit behind on Hunter, so I haven't really seen too many actions revolving Spirit Beast. I've seen what the girl with the cat can do.
Yeah, but now you've seen this one before too. It's the two chicks, where one can open the door and another one can open the exit door, and they have a tunnel in between the door that can take them anywhere to each other, basically. Or I guess
you're talking about the Hugo Road chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, whatever.
But then the other one, becoming a Nin beast because she just got taken over. God have mercy. That was a nut thing.
We're supposed to start talking about Chainsaw
Man. With Chainsaw Man? I know.
Got to
started with JJ.
Hey, man. Hey. I didn't really get to finish my notes, so I have no control over this conversation. We just chat.
Nah, man, but honestly, after going back through Chainsaw Man for like this, 1 or 2 days, it's just, there's a lot, there's a lot I just had to go back through and see, and I was like, I do see Yoshida there. He's just always just been that nigga just there, off to the side, who be knowing shit, apparently. For no reason, going hand in hand with Quan Chi. And that just was a whole... Now, honestly, after I've seen all this, from what I've seen, with some characters, they have them marked as like, oh, she's unspecified, or oh, da-da-da-da. I'm wondering if they're going either based off the manga. They had to be going based off the manga on the wiki. There's no way they're going based off anime. But some characters are showing, like, that they may still be alive, but somewhere else, and da-da-da-da, and knowing... But I'm like, wait, no, I saw them actively get smoked. Like, they actively, definitely got smoked. But and that was probably my gripe for Chainsaw Man.
Devils?
Some devils, some people.
Every time a devil dies, they go back to hell, and then when they get killed in hell, and then they get sent back to Earth. So they're never dying.
Well, yeah, but then it's the people that's the
yeah. That's what I was saying. Are you talking about a human character that died?
Mostly the humans.
But who are you specifically talking an example that the wiki has said?
Well, it was like, Quan Chi's thing was, that she's the unspecified and all that. But
oh yeah, because she has an ability where she damn near can't die. That's why.
It was saying that she is just alive, but yeah, it's like I know she definitely got murked though, so I don't think she
can't die.
But she's not up though, like she's incapacitated in a death state. So right, but to say she's I don't know the way they had it kind of like she was alive. I was like, well, not quite, because before I reread it, I was pretty sure she got her head chopped off, and they just. Makima took her and did the whatever the heck, but then after, they did a whole fight at the end, Denji, of course, chopped her head off again. And now, granted, they did not exactly show what happened with the body. So that's really where I'm kind of like, okay, but what really, what's the thing? Because I want them putting alive, and then it's like, okay, no, she's actually just like a test tube or something, or she's just a sample on a table, or she's buried in the ground. Which then I'm like, nah.
I think she just has a thing where she... Every time she falls down, if she pulls the arrow out her eye, she can just come back.
Yeah, it's just now. Well,
not even her though. If someone pulls her arrow, she can come
somebody. Because at least this I couldn't see her being back unless maybe there's just some reveal that was it Kishibe or whatever brings her back. Yeah. Because the last we saw of her. There was that whole big fight, and then, Denji beat up all the killed Makima. And then they skipped it, and, he started eating Makima. But, what's it called? That's what I wish it was just a little bit more in the, what's it called? Ambiguous side of, she might be alive, she might be incapacitated dead, or he might have also eaten her. Because now we don't even see her. And that's kind of potential. It could be potential that he actually did get them niggas out of the cut.
Actually ate all of them.
Because I probably wouldn't say all of them, but he definitely. There's potential they could have really just got rid of them niggas. Got rid of them.
It's kind of crazy to think that Denji is just sitting in a room with a woman that he once ate.
Yeah, but I guess she's honestly, I guess it is different.
Makima, but it is kind of this weird, just your previous incarnation. I literally chopped up into sushi. Bro, the ending of part 1 Chainsaw Man is literally just peak Fujimoto endings. That's why it's so weird that we're even still talking about Chainsaw Man. Because that is literally the weird shit that his series would just end on, and that would just be it.
Yeah. And honestly, it's man, with the way the whole Nayuta thing was introduced, it is weird. I guess it is just Control Devil's whole deal. To
actually witness Fujimoto actually get a chance at creating a series that can go on like this, building an entire world series where stuff Makima died, but now she's reincarnated Naruto. Now Naruto is growing up and she's grabbing onto personality traits of Denji, and we're gonna see what that's gonna be holding, what she's gonna turn into, and then this whole Yoro thing and all the weapons from hell and stuff that are coming back, or the fucking the devil weapons, or what the fuck that shit was called.
Well, you mean just the people? Yeah, the devil weapon niggas.
They had
the weapon devils.
I think I'm saying the wrong name.
Because you mean the sword nigga and stuff.
Yeah, the weapon devils.
Yeah, they just call them weapon devils.
Because
honestly, it's weird.
But no, I'm talking about the four horsemen. Then the four horsemen, which are so crazy because it's Yoro is all literally equivalent to dealing with a fucking weapon devil because she's old and irrelevant and weak.
Honestly, she might be even less so just because right now she's the weapon devils seem to have a lot more control over it because they're just one. I mean, I'm sure if she took over.
Well, yeah, now that she's now a fiend, but even before she was a fiend, she was in a nerf form. She was a duck. Or owl.
Well, no, now she's not even a fiend. Now she's just, I don't even know,
no, she's a fiend.
Well, no, fiends possess dead bodies, and I guess Asa's still alive.
It doesn't. I think it doesn't matter.
Because they usually, you got to be because Denji, they wouldn't count him as a fiend. They just count him just a weapon demon. Well, he is just a weapon devil. I think it's like kind of different.
But I think Denji's
yeah, he's not.
I think Denji's whole thing is a little bit different, right? He's a hybrid.
Not from the katana nigga, because he's just like the weapon devils, just the typical weapon devils.
But no, I'm saying Denji is a hybrid.
Yeah, but that's kind of typical for the weapon devils, who just get, I guess, consumed in a way, or at least they make a deal where they can become the weapon devils. Because if for what you call its case,
I guess
Rize would be a fiend.
I think
maybe.
Wasn't the name for hybrids like eaten or erased by like Chainsaw Man or Chainsaw Devil? Yeah, I think so. The official name for hybrids was eaten and erased by Chainsaw Devil, but hybrids continue to exist despite their erasure for unknown reasons. In rare cases, a human can become fused with a devil and turn into a hybrid. So this is a little bit different than Yoro. Mitaka is possessed. She had her body taken over. She's a fiend. She just happened to be alive. They typically take over dead bodies. Denji is a hybrid. He didn't get his body took over. He became a devil.
I mean, yeah, but then there's like his whole dead body that got resurrected. Cause that's weird. That's a weird one. Cause he has that. I mean, yeah, he's just not a fiend because he just has the heart need to come.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. He is a human that has the ability to turn into a devil. So those devils that he was fighting at the end, I think, are also kind of like they're also hybrids. Katana, bomb, crossbow, spears. They're all hybrids. Yeah, they're hybrids.
Yeah,
that's different than what Mitaka got going on. She's a fiend.
I mean, I guess maybe she's not the most. Well, yeah, she's just not the most conventional fiend because she didn't get taken over like completely. Because it's like, I guess she might. I mean, I guess she's the anomaly. That's really what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, she's an anomaly for sure.
Because then there's also, I don't know. Because then when they make contracts with the devils like regular, like her friend who, made the contract with the Justice Devil, that president and the other, like the beginning of part 2, made a contract. They just kind of, it's weird. It's almost in a sense the same arrangement. Like they just got a JoJo stand living in their head or something that gives them power to transform and stuff like that.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Basically the Justice Devil and, their host.
The Fiends?
Like how you can... No, not the Fiends, but, the president chick and then, like, the chick that became her friend that, became even bigger. Like a Justice Devil. But they weren't dead. Like, Asa is...
those things.
Soulmates. Yeah.
Well, they were just turned into devils, weren't they?
I mean, they were still them, though. That's the thing. They're still them. They just also had a devil in them and could turn into, like, a devil form, but they weren't the devil themselves. Until she did get turned into a devil. Like, at first she wasn't just a devil, but then, like, her friend I know definitely became a devil. Oh, yeah, I guess the other chick kind of definitely became a devil, too. But they had the devils in them before, too. Because when Homegirl was talking about, like, how the Justice Devil told her, yeah, trip her, and she'll, just kill Clucky, Bucky, whatever his name was. But they also weren't so specific as to say that
she had a contract. So it's just like when Aki fucking it's a contract. So it's literally just being bestowed an ability, just like everything else.
And I guess they never really did change back from after they get the devils.
I think this is just one of those contracts where untrained, because I think that was kind of a thing they talked about in part 1. It was just like some people get offered contracts and stuff, and they get taken advantage of by the devil to cause mayhem. Because most of the time, devils do just kind of offer contracts or try to do contracts just to stir up some shit, knowing that it's going to go wrong for the person that obviously isn't trained to deal with all that. Because, like, yeah, that girl got, after her shit went awry, she actually got turned into a devil because she died.
Yeah.
She died as a human in that contract. So she came back as a devil. And then the other girl, I don't know. We just never heard any, like, she just died, and she might be somewhere around as a devil, but we don't know.
Well, you mean that president chick? I mean, nah, she just Nah, she just died. I mean, she got killed now because Asa killed her in the beginning. But
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But she wasn't a devil. She was still a human that was given an ability by. That's what I'm saying. That girl that came back as a devil because she died as that transformation, because that was an ability given to her by as in a contract.
So did Asa kill her when she turned into what you call it? Because I thought she just kind of let her go.
The Yoko.
Or she like escaped or something. Yeah.
No, remember she no, because remember she got fucked up because Asa hit her with that her sword, because her sword was made out of a uniform that she got from her mom. So when she hit her,
but then she like really cut off all her legs or some shit, and then she just like
she got diced. Only her head was on the floor. Remember, her uniform was a gift given by her mom, and then like she hit her with it, and it was like she smacked it out the way. So it was like, oh shit. But then after she kept talking or whatever, she eventually got like cubed. She was like, her whole body got selected. It was like, oh well, yeah, it was my mom's uniform, or the uniform my mom gave me, so it did have a lot of like meaning to it. So it was like, oh shit. And then like the famine devil came out of nowhere and was like, here, I'll help you. And then she turned it into a giant head, and then she got killed by the devil hunters that showed up. Chainsaw Man. She got killed by Chainsaw Man. And then
that was like he killed her.
And then she came back as a devil, so she was still a human.
That was actually still crazy too.
Yeah. And we still don't know who killed her. We still don't know who, because remember, because Denji was laying down in bed, so we still don't know who that was at the end.
I mean, I don't know, because it could have just
everybody on Reddit still talking about that. We that is not Chainsaw Man. We don't know who that is. Some people are saying that it was just Pochita on his own, but I was like, that don't make any sense.
Well, no, that doesn't make any sense. He'd have to rip out his heart again. I mean, I don't know. We don't really know anything with Fujimoto. It could make sense.
We really don't know who that was, because it definitely wasn't Chainsaw Man, because Denji was asleep when Nyuta. And that was the first time Nyuta got showed, even though it didn't show her fully. It just showed the top of her head. But
yeah, that is true, because then Nyuta soldier was already another thing too.
So yeah, he was asleep when Nyuta and the dogs. So we don't really know who caught that girl at the end. So.
Because I couldn't remember if it was like it showed him like.
I thought it was Denji. I just accepted it was Denji until I came back and read it, and I was like, "Wait, what is that?" But yeah. Anyway, were you looking at the chapter? You want me to bring it up?
Nah. I was what you call it. I still have the other chapters that I was going through, the first couple.
Oh yeah, also
I do wonder. Actually, let me go to that one. Yeah, let's see.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna bring it. Put it on screen. Show everybody what the fuck I'm talking about. What chapter was
that? Probably 110, 111, 112. I think it's 111. Yeah, 111. Yeah, that's definitely 111.
Yeah, not literally left off. Yeah, so this figure right here is still just unknown. Like, I don't even think that looked like Chainsaw Man, because honestly, does Chainsaw?
Well, it is a chainsaw, and he has a split arm.
Yeah.
And he is, a little taller than her, and like, he's a little taller than kind of women in a sense. He's probably like. Wow, I guess I couldn't tell you in manga terms, because usually they put them as like.
I don't think that's Denji.
I mean, maybe, but at the same time, it's just like, man, who else could it be? For it to be a chainsaw head, the split arms, he is Chainsaw Man, so it wouldn't be past him to be just killing devils, just because that's just a shit.
She sleep, they sleep. Denji's asleep. Like, wouldn't he show that on purpose to let us know that?
I mean, it could also just be the biggest bait, because it's like, yeah, Denji. You think Denji's asleep, But
and then
guess
just
what?
for this to just go undressed at this point, like.
Well, see, the thing too is like it's like at dark time, like it's showing it like night when they're sleeping and shit, and then it comes into like either it's setting or it's rising, like sunrise. So it's weird. It could be interpreted as like that was just time kind of passing. Like it showed them at night, and then when it showed her head with the sun on it, it was like, oh, okay, now it's the next day.
I don't think that's dingy, bro.
It's honestly entirely possible, but then it's like at the same time, it's like, why not? Because it is Chainsaw Man's head and all this other stuff. So, it's like wonder. There's just a lot of unexplained. There's a lot of unexplained, like the salmon devil.
I don't know. That's still a mystery for me personally. I don't think that's dingy, but and I was like, it worries me that even all the people that's in the subreddits and stuff that got a keen eye for that is like Pachita. What is that? It's like if y'all ain't sure, then I definitely ain't sure. How?
I mean, because as far as we know, he did leave behind 2 bodies. Both of are suspected to be dead though, because one is in space and one was torn in half by Makima and then had the heart ripped out. So he did have 2 other whole bodies besides his own body. But if those could actually even still function, that would be crazy. Actually, that'd be very crazy if for some reason the Chainsaw Man in space like took on a Denji like appearance and became the hybrid, or that dead Denji hybrid that was fighting at the graveyard actually just somehow still lived. Which wouldn't I don't even know what the point of that would be, but that would be interesting.
Wait, who?
To say the least.
What was that?
Like when he
No, I'm sorry. What was that girl's name again? Yoko. Wasn't it Yoko? Yoko.
Yeah. But that's interesting because I don't know. He hasn't really given us any. That was just such a random panel for it to never really be brought up instantly again. It's just going to be something, I guess, down the line, maybe. But right now, it's just a very shot in the dark kind of situation.
Yeah, even the wiki page. Later, Yuko wakes up to find a figure resembling Chainsaw Man has found her and cut her head off. So, yeah.
It's just so ambiguous.
Nobody wants to address this man as Dingy, so that's why I'm like, I don't know.
Because she said Chainsaw Man. It's like, wait, why would... Like, I mean, it's like, why wouldn't Dingy be there? Why wouldn't he kill the devil if, he saw the Justice Devil or whatever? Because clearly but he also doesn't just flat out usually just kill chilling devils. Like yeah, he don't kill devils that's just chilling. He's usually killing devils that are doing something, like they up to something or doing something.
Like he got some kind of like motive.
Intel that they know, like they've been eating niggas or some shit.
Or like he just straight up just like he'll say like, oh, there's a cat nearby and I just want to say there's a cat, or there's some women and I want to impress these women. Like he always has like some angle or an ulterior motive to.
Yeah.
He doesn't just randomly be like, I want to be a hero. That's kind of like Denji's whole thing is like, he's just never just a hero for no reason. Like he's not ever just actually actively doing his job. That's why it was just weird.
But Denji is also a basket case, so who knows?
That's why he's unlikely to be the person that's doing a normal thing like hunting devils.
But see, he might be a basket case in a way that he's not going to do what Denji would normally do. Maybe he's going so insane that he's saying he just chainsaw.
That's too much.
I mean, and it could be something inherent too, because when Chainsaw Man hears "Save Me" or something like that, or he gets the sentiment of that feel, that he does go kill that person as well. And he just does discriminately kill devils. Because Denji doesn't usually indiscriminately kill devils unless it's just plainly obvious that they're a threat. But Chainsaw Man most certainly does. And that's...
Alright, so...
He could just have an alternate personality.
Last thing I want to just get into with Chainsaw Man is probably just the Yoshida shit. Then we could just give our thoughts of recently, and then we could talk a little bit more about Juju. We'll talk more like about recent shit in Juju afterwards. Okay, so with Yoshida, right? We were talking. Mm-hmm. We had a conversation about how mysterious he is, and how we don't really know like his true motives, and there's just something just off about him. Well, like after rereading or rereading some of these chapters that happened recently. and just spending some time in the subreddit, reading other people's thoughts and stuff like that. He obviously does have like some kind of interest in the Death Devil. Now it got played off the first time he mentioned it. It kind of got played off because it just seemed like he was just going crazy from famine. But that does seem like where his interest is to get Denji to eat the Death Devil, and it seemed like that might be why his organization's maybe mission that he's a part of, this organization that he's loosely involved with. They want him to maybe protect Denji, keep Denji safe so he can maybe be motivated to eat the Death Devil and get rid of death as a concept overall.
Actually,
yeah,
I hate to detract. I just thought of one panel that I saw, but when rereading, when Denji went into hell, and they summoned the Hell Devil to fight Denji, and it took him to hell, and he saw all those other devils. I only wonder how many devils he actually not even Denji, Chainsaw Man. Like how many niggas he got out the cut right there, and if he actually ate the Hell Devil. Because they did summon the Hell Devil right there to take him, and he did come back.
Did the Hell Devil not blow that nigga away?
No, Denji blew him away, and then when he took him back to when he took him to hell, he just blew all them niggas away and bursted back through the door that he took him through. So I wonder if Chainsaw Man ate all them niggas or something. Because the Darkness Devil blew them away before when they got sent to hell, but I guess this time it was at the end when they fought.
Remember when the Hell Devil summoned himself as a 6-figured hand?
You mean when they all got taken in the department store?
Yeah.
Nah, I think that might have been Darkness.
It says Hell Devil.
Hell
Devil manifests itself as a 6-figure hand.
A 6-figured hand? Wait, why did they?
It has 6 fingers.
6 figures? Hey, that's hard. Wait, how do you get a Hell Devil? He only got 6 figures.
6 fingers.
That's like a broke boy. 6 figures. I like that better.
That's why I was like, what are you talking about? We're not talking about money from a fucking mythological creature. We're talking about it turning into a giant hand.
Nah, 6-figure devil. Yeah, that's when he took the whole shebang. That shit was kind of nuts, though. I almost felt like the price was a little steep, but then, price wasn't steep enough. But I guess they did kind of kill people, so I guess life is probably precious. Anyway, on to Yoshida. Yeah, Yoshida's whole deal is just, I don't know. He's a very interesting character because he could also tell when Makima was listening and when she wasn't listening. And mind you, he's only bonded, as far as we know, with the octopus or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's just that guy, and he was able to go toe to toe with Quan Chi for a good little bit.
Yeah, he actually did go hand in hand with Quan Chi.
She still definitely did throw that nigga out the window.
And his devil contract with the octopus doesn't seem like it has a drawback. We don't. It's an unknown price. We don't know, but it just seemed like he has such control, and he just used the octopus to grab Denji from because Aki and some of these people that we knew had a really hefty price. A lot of them wasn't just needlessly throwing their shit out there.
He might have already gotten he might have lost his kidneys or some shit. He might have lost his because we still don't see him so often. We don't even know what's his deal. He might have lost his
But what if he might have lost that guy to the point that he just got some kind of thing with the octopus devil? It's not what if he just don't have
it? Could be that too. Some devils actually do just like you and just want to do whatever the fuck because they know it'll either bring them happiness to see you fail, or it'll bring them happiness to see someone else get fucked up by you. And that's also interesting is the devil the devil synchronization. The most simple things, Pochita's whole dream of just go, show me your dream. The easiest contract in the world. You literally get the most powerful devil for the easiest contract. Pochita. So it could just be some stupid stuff. Yeah, considering he just
Pochita that is such damn near dead. They was both damn near dead when they found each other. So it's they bonded in blood.
Yeah, and he completed his deal of he completed his dream. So it's all right, now you got to complete your dream. Show me. I do like how the panels all at the end show the Pochita with an updated art that reflects the chapter. That was also nice in Chainsaw Man 1. It's very interesting. It's almost like one of those things in like
what
one of those isekai. It's just all the chapters of Chainsaw Man. They just at the end of the chapter, it's a little. It's not a big panel. Sorry, it's just a little picture of him at the bottom right, and it's just like he'll be blown up by bombs. He'll have his like head chopped off or something, or just whatever reflects what happened in the chapters. Oh yeah, in part 1, just at the end of every chapter. For the most part, it was just some random Pochita art that just shows him and depicted in whatever the episode might have been. Some like whatever might have happened in the episode, like a bomb or a shark and all the other stuff. But it's like, man.
Yeah, man, this Yoshida man he's sus, bro. That's all I gotta say.
He's sus, bro. We got mole. He's sus, bro.
He mad sus. We don't know.
I look forward to seeing what he does as a character.
Our attention is definitely set on him, though.
Yeah, he's probably the most.
We definitely know he's up to something.
He's somebody did this, and it might be him.
And it might be him.
It might be him. That's the craziest thing.
I definitely predicting that he's working for some organization, and their plan is to get Chainsaw Man to eat the Death Devil. A question like that out straight up to Denji, and just him having this obsession with Denji and wanting people that are proposed threat. Like he asked Yoro on a date just to be like, "Yo, can you stay away from Denji? Thanks." And then it's just that was it, because he knows exactly that. He's probably on the same time as Nayuta is. Hey, every woman that ever hangs out with you just wants to kill you. So more than likely, this woman's obsession.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Well, not her. He didn't say that. Nayuta did, but I feel like he probably has a similar sentiment. That's why he told Yoro to.
I think he did say that then to him at one point, didn't he? He was like, because he was trying to tell him.
He never says anything like that outright to Denji. He'll be thinking it, and you can know you can tell that he is thinking it. That's what's so funny about him. He has such an expressive look. Like you can tell that he is very much just like he be looking at Denji like, you dumbass nigga. But he'll have the smile on his face, so it's not like he's saying it straight up, but you know that he's thinking.
I mean, yeah, honestly, because Denji's an idiot. It's funny though. I think because it was funnier that Asa just mistook what he said, because it was like, oh, okay, Denji stood you up. Well, yeah, you can just come with me then. She's like, oh, so he must like me. So he's like, no, I wasn't asking you on a date. I just was gonna tell you to stay away from him. I just wanted to tell you to follow me. That's just it. That's just so sick. The fact they did that to Asa.
And she's just over there literally spiraling. Like Asa being the host of this threat and actually just going through just a desirability complex, a fucking confidence, social anxiety, like all of the things. Like she is embodying all of the different types of anxieties.
Yeah, literally just. I mean, because it's happening too. The fact that it's really happening to her, like niggas is just actually treating her kind of like shit. I really be
reading each chapter, just feeling
like damn mood.
Yeah.
Like we're literally just looking at what's going on. Us is just mood. I feel that.
And then it's just the fact that Yoro can feel and know everything she's thinking. So when she was like really upset that Denji didn't show up, and she was just like, "What? You know, like it's just good that I'm alone anyway. Like I just blah blah blah." It's just, and she's just going through this cope, and all Asa is just like
cope. No, the fact that Yoro's just like cope, big cope, cope. Cope
she might as well, but instead she was even more disrespectful and just said,
Cope, big cope, like just in the most taunting way possible.
Literally right here, just in the corner. Like after 3 boxes of nothing but coke, she's just in the corner like.
Yeah, she was. Bro, that was just sadness. I was like, man, that's kind of sucks. But of course, I wasn't expecting them to just get together and have a, happy little relationship or anything. I was like, oh, y'all kind of clicked though. Y'all actually kind of clicked though, but I think everything is probably
Denji
just
won't like that, but Denji kind of likes any girl that kind of shows him attention.
But they click for real though. That's the thing.
Because they're pretty much both the same thing. They're just desperate and have very low standards and self-esteem. So I guess that's probably why they clicked. They would literally both accept anything.
I mean, yeah, Digi doesn't exactly have.
That's what I'm saying. They have chemistry and they click because they're literally the same person. Well, they ended up in same destination for different reasons. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, like, because hers is just. I mean,
she lost her mom and she had made a lot of different mistakes. She has a low confidence issue, which led to her having social anxiety, which led to a bunch of different trauma experiences that affirm her low self-esteem, which now she's just kind of like in a pit of depression and shell of her former self. So she's kind of just desperate for any positive attention. And then Denji was abused by his dad and then an orphan and then grew up on the street selling his testicle for monies. So he didn't really get to have the opportunities of having normal female adult interaction. So he's kind of just desperate for any of that either. So that's just literally just different strokes, but same spot.
I do find it funny that Yoshida introduced Asa to Denji.
And Denji lost his mind.
Yeah.
Literally fumbled.
Right.
That's what's so funny about it. Is just like, do you actually want to get laid, or do you? But it's just like he is desperate, but he is still dingy, and there's just some part of him that's very just like, it's like, yeah, but I'm just kind of.
Well, yeah, and then but that's the crazy thing. You can see him actually.
I can't shake the fact that I'm me. So even though my inner desires are to get pussy, if me being me cock blocks me from that, then that's just his. And that's the crazy thing is Denji's desperate, but he'll still accept like, hey man, maybe she maybe I smell like wet dog. Hey.
Well, because he didn't used to know what it was, and he was like, damn, I used to always be hungry for the chase. But after he got to feel up power, he was like, bro, this shit kind of whack. I just touched some titties and it wasn't even all that. But then, I mean, yeah, because it was always, you just got to find, I guess, the person. Then, Makima showed him, oh, yeah, you just got to find the person that you really want to feel. Like, you really want to feel on them. And then, yeah, she showed him, you got to memorize their bite and everything and all that kind of crazy crap. But it shows him just developing in the sense that, like, oh no, I'm actively learning that your expectations can actually outweigh the reality. And I actually don't like girls. I don't like all girls. I don't like girls who throw up in my mouth. I don't like girls who try to kill me. I don't like girls who, abuse me and call me this and that, or hate me.
That girl didn't try to peek on your mouth on purpose, did she? But that was a terrible first kiss to actually have.
That was a horrible first kiss. His first kiss was literally throw up.
Vomit.
And it was just... And then he couldn't even really get it up with her because he was like, he went and talked to Makima, and her indirect kiss with a lollipop was better than, of course, the barf kiss, which he automatically had to swallow because he's reflexes, which is disgusting. But, like...
His reflexes, I don't know. It was interesting. Swallowing anything that he comes across.
Protein. Yeah. Because that was funny when I didn't understand that panel before, like fully, as I should have probably, because I was just kind of reading what the fuck is going on in this manga. But when he was like laughing at those, when he had a flashback and him and Pochita were laughing at those rats, like, yeah, like look at that, they're eating throw up. Like they have some self-respect or some, cocky thing like that. And he just thinks about that as he swallows the throw up. I was like, okay, nah, that's crazy. That's actually the craziest in a fucking karma, I guess, in a way.
Is that he was shaming them, but it immediately became that.
It became a reality for him, who also, eats garbage and all that on the daily. So it's like a street rat talking about street rats is almost, pot calling the kettle black. But it's cool it was cool to see his character at least develop the differentiation of what he wants in women and all. And socially, he was growing. He actually grew socially, which is interesting. Because, man, when he, got Aki and power and the whole family dynamic, then things became a lot more...
It's kind of crazy to think that Denji was out here
understandable
with Pochita killing people with Pochita. I actually kind of forget about that era, to be honest.
Yeah,
him killing Pochita by like we spent so much time with him being a hybrid that I do kind of forget.
You forgot that he just used to pick up the chainsaw
he used to
dog
actually use him as a chainsaw.
I mean, but I guess he was fighting some backcountry, tomato devil and stuff like that. Now that's still just not to scoff at because he. That's
the crazy thing is that he didn't even get killed by a devil. He was handling shit like weird shit like fucking muscle.
Well, he was handicapped too because he sold his eye and his nutsack and a liver or something or a kidney or something. Like he's selling all these body parts, so he's really crippled at this point. But he's still chopping trees,
still killing people, killing devils, and then it's just like. You didn't even get ended by that. You got ended by some random beanie wearing nigga with a sword who stabbed both you and Pochita. Like what?
Well, yeah, because he got snuck up on, bro. He got snuck up on. He was following his boss, and he just, he didn't know he was about to get caught up. But then, even then, he kind of still did survive. He kind of was. Well, no, he was gonna die anyway because his heart disease. He had heart disease. So, but what's it called? Even then, as he was running, and they just all diced him up and threw him in the trash. That was crazy. Literally, that panel of him and Pochita just getting sliced up while alive was like, yikes. So they just went out the most crazy way possible. And then by the stroke of luck of his blood dripping into Pochita's severed head, he was able to live. That was just, man. But that literally, going back to the first couple chapters, seeing, that was just his life, His life was literally so dog, bare bones trash that when he met Rize and she was like, living and eating 3 meals a day and sleeping in a bed is basic human rights in Japan. That's not something amazing. But the way this boy talks about it, this is literally the life. This is all he needed. But then he realized he wants more because he should want more. Or he just does. Because I guess human, but
Alright, so that's enough Chainsaw Man talk. We
yeah.
covered the basis of everything we felt about that series up until now. Wait, what exactly happened recently in that shit? Because I think the last chapter
Chainsaw Man?
Where
I think
there's like a
devil
justice
like
devil or something, like weird justice devil thing. And killed
all those niggas in the body.
Well, no, I think was it Yoro that was like making them just fall down so she could collect this weapon or something.
No, it was some different devil because Yoro was scared. Like, oh shit, I thought I could fight this nigga, but I can't fight this nigga. I need to run. So right now we're Asa's running, and people were theorizing that Nayuta's gonna somehow save Asa, but as far as we are right now, it's just the devil. All these people because whatever devil this is, all these people just got the idea in their head. Hey, you want to kill ourselves? And they're like, yeah, let's kill ourselves. And they all just started jumping down.
That's what I was like. I thought that was Euro trying to find the weapon.
Oh no.
Because she was standing in front of the bodies, but I was like, now that I think about it, like, how the fuck would she?
Yeah, she was just as scared of that too. She was like, bro, what the fuck?
Because how the hell would she be able to make a ruler sword out of them people?
And she didn't. I don't think she has the power for that as is. Just don't have probably don't even have the power, I guess, in general, maybe. But yeah, whatever popped out was like a multi-arms on the top of the body being with like legs and human legs. So it was like a human body, and it was just like, that's just. I'm like, is that the justice or is that? I don't know.
I think
because that's what the justice looks like.
What Yoshida was saying, it's not Justice Devil itself, but I think Yoshida was saying that. It was like I think it's a result of the Justice Devil just doing some shit.
Maybe, but then I don't know. Could that itself be stronger than?
Maybe it's not the Justice Devil, but it might be another fucking
horseman or something.
Horseman that they didn't say yet.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, with her in a weakened state in Asa, it could really be any devil that's just above them. Because right now they aren't anything. They're not anything too strong. I just don't know it has to be, because of those, I don't know what that is on the stomach. I don't know.
I don't
That's
know. That
weird.
was that same shit that other girl had. So that's why I was like, maybe there's some kind of link. That's why I immediately assumed the Justice Devil because it was having like tendrils and stuff, just like that. Yoka.
But then it's just the lack of the wings design is what's throwing me off too because I'm like, okay, almost assuredly the devil would have wings if it was a Justice Devil. So there's something else. It's got to be because then he wouldn't back to back
I mean,
reentry.
Yoko
He
didn't
wouldn't
have
back to
wings.
back.
She was just a fucking tendril monster.
Yoko, yeah. I mean, they were kind of like wing. They kind of had the like the pattern on them, like a tendril kind of pattern that almost into angel wings, kind of. Or at least the way they point was it was almost reminiscent of angel wings in a way.
What are you talking about?
Cause like
What a
the
part of this
tendrils
look
out,
like angel wing?
bro. Cause it's Justice Devil. It's kind of
But
associated.
which one
Like,
of
it's
these
gotta,
look like angel wings?
kind of the ones on the face a bit,
They
honestly, and then
do
the
not
ones
look
that kind
like
of wrap
angel
around.
wings.
And like the way they wrap around the body too. Like it's almost
This nigga talking
reminiscent in a
smoking
sense.
crack. Y'all seen it live.
Right.
They don't look like goddamn angel wings. They look like a fucking weird goddamn evil con carne ass monster. Like what the fuck?
Hey man, I like to think because Justice Devil, it's got a little
And look
bearing
at the tendrils look exactly like what was on that monster. Like
on that stomach. I don't think exactly though,
let's
because that one it looked like it didn't like have the
let's
ridges and
go
everything
to
like
where
that.
her human form was. Hold on.
Yeah, there's her human form. It's Sakuda
It looks
inside
exactly.
of what's it called? Nah, it's just a JJK panel. That's funny.
Yeah, that looks like at least the way it's drawn looks like almost the same.
But then it's just like with the design of her having all those arms, just different. And then the little tendril coming out of the stomach. I don't know. The little tendril coming out of the stomach looks just like almost like an umbilical cord or something like that. Just a
Well,
really
the
big
way it's
umbilical.
placed, yeah, but it's drawn just like those tendril stuff.
Because the way those come out, they come out almost like little points. Like, that's kind of because that almost looked like it was just a droopy little what you call it, just a droopy little like piece of fat on the stomach. Where those tendrils just look like live body parts. So that was the weird thing about this one because it just looks like I don't know. It's just weird too with the design of all those arms. It could just be a design change, but this is weird. Is he like he really gonna bring back some kind of weird Justice Devil incarnation right after again? Or like what's the deal? And we just won't know until I don't know when. Probably tomorrow. No, not tomorrow.
I think it's some
Next
Justice
week.
Devil type shit. It's
But
possible.
again, though, that'd be disappointing, honestly.
I feel like the Justice Devil got something justice in famine. But honestly, why is all of the different horsemen's after you? Like you just didn't get out of a what is Yoro not telling us? Like she didn't just get out of a heated battle with all of the horsemen in the Weapon Devil to take on Pochita. Obviously, she still wants to kill Chainsaw Man, but it seemed like all the other horsemen got more like animosity aimed towards Yoro and Asa than they do Chainsaw Man.
I mean, it doesn't seem like famine is exactly gunning
Famine damn near
for.
killed Asa.
Because wasn't it just the Eternity Devil that had them niggas in what you call it?
No,
I don't think she's actually fought famine yet.
Famine was there. She talked. She snapped. She disappeared with Yoro and left Asa and
well, yeah.
The only reason
Denji
Denji thought it was the Eternity Devil is because he didn't see Famine.
And that's the weird thing with the powers of these devils, just to do shit like that. It's like, well, I guess they're kind of, primordial. So that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's what I feel like she just has the ability to just do that because she's on some other shit.
But if we really get spammed with justice, I don't know how I feel about just getting more Justice Devil. I'd rather see. I don't want to see like a new devil every week, but I'd like to see.
But
not
again,
Justice Devil.
Based on her dialogue, it might be some other it might not even be a Weapon Devil or not. It might not be another horseman. It might be some other fear. that she was going to say, but she got cut off because they're going to reveal it next week. So it might not be the Justice Devil. I was just saying that it's just.
Well, no, Justice is Justice a horseman or is?
Well, no, he isn't. But he's just. The reason why I threw Justice out there is because of the tendril and just that he's just been a primary force that's been fucking with Yor.
Yeah. I almost feel like this has to be a horseman for Yor to. I don't know, because then, like, out of this, what could this be? The body devil. How does that? That'd be weird. I don't know. That'd be a weird one if it is just like the body devil. That'd be goofy if anything. What could it? I don't know. But I have to wait and see. That's just Chainsaw Man, though.
Just gotta wait and see. All right. Go ahead and just share your feelings recently. Go ahead and kick it off. I'll play backseat. What's been happening lately with fucking with Juju?
JJK.
Let's just talk about these recent chapter with Sukuna doing all the shit that he's been doing. So let's start from 213 to down.
By like 213, what you mean when they start kicking off the whole body possession thing? Yeah. You mean just all right, so it's just she ain't caught up quick thing. There's the whole culling game, all that crazy shit going on. We got the groups of Maki essentially.
If you could refresh leading up to this, and then like maybe we can just do the ending discussion together, that would be nice. Okay,
so like basically in Juju right now, we've hit a point where we're in like the war arc, if you want to call it that. That's pretty much what it is. Gojo's trapped inside a prison dimension, so he's a non-player at the moment. He might become a player later, where just people are anticipating it, but honestly, I'm not really looking forward to seeing Gojo just pop out and, wreck niggas exactly yet. I don't know. It's a weird direction they're taking. I am eager to see him get out, but I know if he does get out, he's just uber threat. They're going to be probably fine, that kind of deal. Now, mind you, he did get captured in the first place. Kujaku is a very
Kujaku just has him, right? Like, he's just...
Yeah, he just has him. I'm not sure if he can actually get rid of him, but he just does have him. But if anybody could get rid of him, he's an old man. A very old man.
You think? I think he had some kind of like weird pleasure out of being Itadori's mom.
I think as long as he's been around, I think he's just doing everything.
He just doesn't care.
So, it's just whatever forwards the plan. Bro.
It was super weird because I think his parents knew. Like I think they're like his granddad definitely knew that was not like the same girl and that she died. But like the dad was like Itadori's dad was like in full cult mode, which means that his dad was in cult mode and deluding himself that his wife came back to life, even though he knew that it was possessed by some freaky dude, and he still had sex with that thing and had Itadori anyway.
Yeah, it was his wife. So yeah, he just had sex with his wife, bro.
No, he had sex with an old demon man. You dirty dick bastard.
Yeah, that's his wife though. You think he gonna let just another nigga be in his wife and he not in? I don't think so.
Well, if you wasn't gonna do it, it's not like Kenjaku had interest of just laying with anybody else. It's your wife is a corpse.
I think he probably would have just laid with anybody else, honestly. I think he just wanted to make it his... I don't know if he needed the dad exactly. He probably could have just did any old Joe. Because it depends. The way he might have made Itadori is weird. It might have just been more reliant on the mom's side, and then dad doesn't really...
specifically within Itadori, the individual that made the perfect vessel.
I think it was because he made the vessel through his mom.
Or is it a result that Itadori just so happened to be the individual who is now embodying the but it could have been any kid that came out of that womb.
Because if he just, I think it was the way he made the kid as opposed to the actual kid itself. Like he just, it was what he was explaining. Like he did the gravity thing on reverse curse technique on like the womb, and while he was pregnant, and while he was pregnant. Yeah. So that was, he did that, and he just created whatever he created. Or he could have, I don't know. The way they create the cursed wombs isn't exactly the most... I might have to reread over it, because I don't know if that's what they did exactly for the rest of them. but then they can also be like almost stored like data chips and then installed in another way. So I'm not sure if he installed one of those things inside of himself and that was Itadori, and that's why the child took the die, or he just installed it. Could have been any child, and and then Itadori just came from his actual dad, just off that basis. But yeah, I guess all in all, he just made Itadori for. Honestly, I'm not really sure, unless it's one of them Aizen situations. I knew everything that was gonna happen, which is seemingly being. So, because we would really think, at least the way he writes Juju, that Itadori is actually meant to be Sukuna's like vessel. It's never really. It's not really, said explicitly, we wanted Itadori to be the vessel. We needed Itadori to be the vessel. This is the plan. It's just, okay, this crazy kid ate a finger that might give you a 1 in a million chance of actually incarnating as this super dangerous nigga. And this kid also has the, capacity to hold him for some reason, which he stupidly gave up at the same time. So... man, it's been a loop ever since the beginning, because it's never just been on a good, consistent path. There's just been so many divergent roads, and then enemies become friends, friends become enemies. We were never really enemies. We were schoolmates, but we were trying to kill you, and interlocking political wars, even though they have all these cursed spirits over there messing with them. Now the 3 families are all dead. Juju is just in a state of complete, like, Armageddon right now. The fate of the world is just in those situations there. You just don't know where it's going to go.
Actually, like, freaky. I think Sukuna's actually more freaky than Kenjaku, but there is something weird about Kenjaku.
Well, yeah, he did. Bro, these body snatching niggas are just freaks. And then the things that Sukuna does,
I think it's just the fact that he's so dedicated to being so sadistic.
He's just crazy. Yeah, like he could, at least Kenjaku. I mean, he might kill you, but at the same time, it's like a calm. He might kill you,
storm.
And it's like he could just leave you. He could just leave you be out of disinterest.
Sukuna the type of nigga to turn his head into a giant bug and bite you.
Bro, he literally there was that one nigga. There was that one nigga who I think Fushiguro was fighting or whatever, and then I can't remember what happened. Sukuna
and the reason why he can turn into that everybody is because this is what he actually looks like. A freak.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he can do all kinds of body morphing. Honestly, he probably can just turn into anything. But because then I know she asked him in the latest chapter, his attendant was like, "You decided to keep that face?" And she's like, "Yeah, I kind of want to wear it." But he also revealed that he's gonna be, going to fight Megumi's sister in his body.
Definitely a lot of like him that just look like Itadori though, even in his true form.
And that's weird. It could just be, character design as opposed to just...
Some people were saying that it was because the fact that when he died of natural causes, so we actually don't know what he looked like when he was in his realm or in his reign. But then since Itadori is his first and official vessel, all his
that's all we have as reference.
Now, he just looked like him.
Because then he doesn't want to blow the top. If he actually does have some big reveal, he's not gonna make it not look like Itadori. Because now that's the basis. So that's what that is. But it's just a weird little system they got going on, because now Sukuna's basically trying to completely take over Megumi's body by making him kill his own sister, who's possessed by some old man. Because that just happens to be the trend these days, getting possessed by old niggas. But he's doing the whole ritual where he's bathing in like a bunch of curses blood, and they're basically like straining him for blood and making a big bloodbath. Which, I mean, he already did the bloodbath, so I guess now Megumi's already like super far in, and he's probably not coming out for a while. But when he probably goes to kill his sister, that might who knows? Who knows what will happen? I'm sure at some point Fushiguro is probably going to come back, but the writing has been so sporadic that it doesn't really make any sense. Because now the goalpost is moved. Kenjaku's going to close the culling game. He's done with the culling game. We thought the culling game was going to be a thing. It was never really even the end goal. The culling game was just a means to an end. I guess for Sukuna's revival and Tengen's merge with everybody.
Apparently all the other angles and stuff, everything that came as a result is like just... That was actually what the actual goal was. But on the forefront, the calling game was supposed to be just like they're supposed to be in this thing, and a bunch of sorcerers are fighting, and it's supposed to be feeling something. Like all the curse energy is supposed to be like powering something.
Yeah, and you would think, but it's just like I don't know. It seems like they just disproved, like they just said, oh yeah, it wasn't really ever meant to be that big a deal anyway. Like Kenjaku just. So it means all the private talk they had about fueling, like them releasing the curse spirits to do all this other stuff. It's making it seem like a big misdirection. So now I'm stuck in the land of thinking, okay, so is the culling game really just not important? Because there's been times he just makes it not important just because he felt like it.
What made like? Because apparently, like this nigga was a human sorcerer, right?
Kenjaku?
No, Sukuna. Well, apparently both of them were, right?
I mean, I think at some point Kenjaku was. I don't know about Sukuna.
Sukuna apparently was also a human sorcerer. How did he get to the point where he had like is that just how niggas looked back 1,000 years ago when they became a sorcerer? They just had multiple arms and shit?
Well, no, you probably just die and become a curse. Or some shit like that. Just hate somebody enough, get cursed to death. Somebody could curse you.
He's a vengeful spirit now. But I'm talking about during his reign, when he was a human sorcerer.
Because it's weird.
Because his legend was that he was an imaginary demon, but in truth, he was just a human sorcerer that was like fucking crazy.
Because I guess you could always just morph yourself, yeah. I'm sure with enough curse energy, you
can do these like augmentations where maybe some kind of curse gave them extra limbs or some shit.
Yeah, because a lot of the niggas back then were just freaky, crazy spirit. Like, they were crazy niggas with it. Like, the fact that niggas can shoot... it's definitely not out of the norm since niggas can shoot beams out of their hair. Which, mind you, he just killed that nigga. So, that's sad. I kind of like that guy, but he sliced him completely to 3.
Sukuna killed that dude?
Yeah, the guy who shoots the beams out his head, he just sliced that nigga shit up.
Who the fuck was that? What was his name?
I don't even remember. He fought Megumi. I think he fought not Megumi. He fought Yuta. Because this was like the big 3-way heavyweight battle between like Yuta, this one chick who's a reincarnated, and I think this other guy was a reincarnated, whatever the hell, and then the cockroach curse spirit. Are you talking
about the dude with the
pompadour?
The pompadour. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's dead because he just got sliced through.
Night blast.
Bro, that nigga was actually crazy though, and he was squaring up with Yuta, bro. That was like nuts. Because niggas don't just square up with Yuta. That's just not something like you do.
All that niggas do is square up with Yuta. It seems like
that's not true. Bro, Yuta throw down.
I've definitely seen this nigga literally just square up with a bunch of different niggas. Didn't he fight Chozo in Itadori?
Well, yeah, but I mean, he wasn't really trying to kill Itadori. If he was really trying to kill Itadori would have been dead, probably.
Geto, he fought Kurishi, he fought a cursed spirit, he fought them two niggas.
But not the new Yuta, because this Yuta's the nigga. You don't just square up with Yuta. You gotta be a nigga to square up with Yuta.
This is like when he's in. This is like the showcasing of him actually like.
This is the dog. This is the little nigga became the nigga. He's literally senpai, bro. That's the crazy thing. But don't even get me started on Yuta. We don't have any word on Yuta right now because, as far as we know, funny nigga got blasted by Nue, and I know Maki got blasted by Nue, but it didn't hurt. So I can't imagine Homeboy is hurt. But we don't know where he is because Sukuna left, and the focus has been taken away from the group for now. But it's also crazy to think that even a Sukuna boosted Nue.
I don't think the Weekend page got up to that point. What chapter did that happen in?
When they got blasted by Nue?
Or when that nigga killed him. That was the recent chapter that?
Yeah, when he killed that nigga. Yeah, that was like either the most recent or the one right before it. Like he like sliced that nigga head up because he was just leaving as Because no, I think this might have been he's in the robes. So this should be actually the most recent. I think it should be the most recent.
Oh, okay, so yeah, because you be what? I'll be waiting for them to come out of this. So.
Yeah, I got it. What you call it? Chapter that's
I don't trust them translations.
What's on like manga for?
I did read ahead for 215, and I didn't like. And when I read the official one, I was like, hell no, I'll never trust you niggas ever again. This is why I pay for this.
Yeah, I know there's Yeah, I know some people definitely feel the way, especially about the fan ones. How the fan ones, some of the fan ones actually do it some justice. So they're like, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. The little fucking, what's it called? The little wordplay they use instead of like, he says instead of what Yudidori says about, hey, if I'm in pain, then maybe you should come stifle this pain, Sukuna, or something like that. But then they kind of translate it into a badass way. Some of the fans do. It's interesting. Although the fact that Granite Man, because the crazy thing is when Sukuna first pulled up on him in Fushigoro's body, he just was like, he could be like them niggas knew. They were like, oh my god, it's the king of curses. Like we can feel that nigga. And then he just like was stepping. He was walking by. He probably would have just left them alone too. But I think Homeboy, these are reincarnated sorcerers. They want to scrap. They don't care who it is. They want the smoke. So I was like, oh, it's like that. That's crazy. But he stood in Sukuna's way, and he was just standing there.
I actually have to just have the same amount of information that you do. So now I gotta fucking.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You just keep talking. I'll just be reading it.
Yeah. No, it's just crazy because he's like, so basically Sukuna, who just sank Fushiguro deeper in his body, is now he's pretty bonded. So now Fushiguro can't just hold him back like he did in the fight with Itadori, which ensues that of course he would have definitely probably killed Itadori if he was able to bond with his body, but Fushiguro was holding him back. Which honestly, who knows what Fushiguro might be hiding under the hood if he's just that much potential of a vessel. So we got a lot to look forward into when he might return, which I have to imagine he has to return at some point, because I don't know if Gojo even commended him as somebody who might surpass him or some shit like that, but Fushiguro definitely been gassed up like a main character, like the mainest main character.
Oh, because he thought, like, you're talking about him choosing Megami as a host. He was really gassed on Megami for a while.
Well, he likes Megami because I don't know what it is about Sukuna's like for Megami, but I guess he just has his curse spirit.
You see the size of the Nue that he summoned? That's probably what it is.
But he could he could honestly have like Kinjaku's body, Geto, and like Geto had like
that wouldn't probably be a suitable target to try to pull that off on.
Yeah, I mean, he honestly just figured it out too. He wasn't really even supposed to come back that way. So honestly, it was all been, if he could though, because that could that's the crazy thing about his writing, man. This is all on like the fly.
That was the crazy thing is literally still kind of getting washed by a nigga that you went from a dude hosting a dude that's powerful as fuck, but he doesn't have any curse. Well, he doesn't have a curse technique. He has a pretty good control over his curse energy, but he doesn't have a curse technique. And then you went to a dude that does have a curse technique. But the thing is like you went from Naruto to Sasuke. So it's like, and that's cool.
I mean, that's true. That's optimal.
But that's the thing. This is like part one Sasuke. This nigga doesn't have a complete domain yet.
Well, no. See, that's the thing, though. He don't need to have it because he's taking his body, so it doesn't even matter at this point. He has a complete domain now. Wait. Oh, and even
we haven't seen
Sakuna.
Because now he has I understand that he has an upgraded Nue and stuff like that, but like I didn't know if that now he so if he does Chimera Shadow Garden, it's actually going to be completed now.
It's going to be nuts, but he also just has the shrine, Forbidden Shrine. It probably wouldn't matter anyway because he just has his own domain, so it would have just.
Wait, he can still use his own domain inside.
At least he could inside of Itadori, so yeah, I'd imagine he could probably still just do it inside of what's his face, Fushiguro. So he might just have two domains.
Hold on, so when it was like, because like I'm like Yuji was kind of giving him a run for his money. Wait, was that nigga just not taking that shit seriously or something?
Against Sukuna against Yuji?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like possessing his body, or you mean in that inside battle they were having?
That fight that they had.
Well, yeah, I mean, he wasn't taking it the most serious. He was just kind of trying to play him, but then when he just saw he was a complete idiot, he just sliced his head off and was like, okay, I'm just going to take complete control of you. Got it. I see what this is. You aren't a host.
Nigga, I'm talking about recently.
Oh, you mean
when you keep misunderstanding everything that I'm saying? I said.
Well, yeah, that's what I was like.
I said that the recent battle that he had Like, did he just not take him? Because we were in the
Uh-huh.
context of talking about the battle that getting the powers that he recently acquired. So I was like, wait, so was he just not even taking Yuji seriously in that fight? The fight recently.
Because with the information from the
now
fight,
you understand what I'm talking about.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The fight recently, he couldn't do his full power because Fushiguro was holding him back.
Oh yeah, because he's still kind of conscious inside.
Like, that's why I was like, oh, I thought you meant the other one because
I would never be talking about any of that shit. I'm talking about right now, yeah. Because we're talking about hypothetically him using his full domain. He didn't even have Megumi's power at all at that point.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, I thought you meant yeah. But anyway, yeah, he just couldn't do anything because Megumi was holding him back. But he still probably would have killed him should Maki have not showed up. But then since she showed up, I mean, they still could have killed him, I guess. But then he just didn't feel like it at that point.
That's why I was just like, I don't know. Yeah, I was like, what was the point of fleeing if you could have handled that?
Make him mad. I mean, what are you gonna do? You don't know where you're going, and you don't know what you're doing, and he can't stop you.
I mean,
that is the power play. It's just because it's just at the end of the day, they can't catch up to that giant Nue. And if they do, they're just going to get frozen by what's-her-face, or just bop back down. He's just the dominant. He don't have to worry about anything because he's just that powerful.
But you were getting tossed. You got decked in the mouth.
Hey, man, he was still trying out the new body, bro. He wasn't even in the full body. Bro, he came took the seatbelt on, but he had a seatbelt.
Cameron's outside, so I'm going to go meet Cameron real quick. Sum up the rest of Juju, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about One Piece.
So yeah, if anything, Juju right now is in definitely in a volatile state because right now we're about to be seeing Megumi possibly kill his sister. Of course, that's probably going to turn into a more likely situation because it's Sukuna in his body. So it's just probably dead. But then again, this is Juju. Could be some completely different thing where like Sukuna gets booted out, Itadori ends up stopping him from fighting. The guy that they're going to fight is actually strong because this guy's been waiting for Sukuna. So you got to keep in mind that I'd imagine he'd be somewhat prepared to actually, fight Sukuna. Now, it'd be very underwhelming if he just kind of gets bopped as soon as Sukuna gets there. But then again, this is Sukuna. So, I mean, I guess we got till tomorrow to see. Maybe we should have waited till tomorrow because maybe we could see. No. Chapters came out. Doesn't matter. But yeah. Go to the vacuum? Yeah. But basically, I guess, kind of to wrap up JJK, that's just, I don't know. I don't know exactly where we're going to be going with JJK. It's weird because we're in a spot where we don't really know what's going on with Itadori, and I kind of hate body snatching animes and mangas in a way. Because when it gets to the body snatching, it's kind of just a lot of emotion and I mean, I guess most anime is just a lot of emotion and stuff like that. But then this body snatching kind of situation just gets to, we got to do the emotional soul battle where Megumi's going to have to battle for his body back with all his soul, which can be epic if it wasn't done tens of thousands of times throughout the millions of anime over the 10 millions of years that I've lived. So, we'll see where JJK goes. It's getting a little typical, but hey, it's a shonen. It's a shonen.
Yeah. I guess this next time we do the podcast because when is the next chapter dropping for this? Because this ain't even next out week, yet. Y'all just. I have to process this, and y'all get my opinions on 216 next week. Right. I guess we'll just. I guess we could probably just do this every Saturday. That seemed like a good time. So yeah. Next Saturday. Sorry. Just collecting.
Nah, yeah.
So what we're moving on to One Piece, right?
Move on to One Piece, alright.
Yeah.
So just a One.
Oh wait, I guess I gotta give closing statements on fucking Jujutsu. I guess for me, since I had backed away. Um. Yeah, I think the fact that we didn't really get an actual like decent battle outside of a couple blows and then him dipping was kind of disappointing. And then I think Yuki dying was fucking very tragic, but I think the way she went out was kind of G shit. But then he fucking made it stupid.
I think it was trash. Yeah, it was just trash.
And then he made it. When she came back as a black hole, I was like, oh my god! And then,
I knew it was gonna be all in void. Like if he killed Kenjaku right there, at least for a while, I would have been like, oh.
That at least like did something, had him wrapped up in something, or
ruined some facet of something. But I guess that's just the satisfaction. I don't know. It's not bad to always have the satisfaction of a hero's not complete victory, but somewhat victory.
She chaosued, bro.
Loss.
She literally chaosued.
She literally chaosued and just lost. There was nothing. They gained nothing from that fight. They, in fact, lost stuff. They lost Tengen. They lost Yuki. They lost, like, a lot. So, right now, JJK is in a state where it's just getting into the depressing arc of they've lost everything. They've lost Megumi. They lost Gojo. Itadori's lost Sukuna, so who knows what his cursed energy situation is going to be like, because even with being a cursed womb, his cursed energy deal came from Sukuna. So now he might just be back to being Unga Bunga strong man.
Yeah, he's just raw strong man.
And so, but honestly, it could be he could pull some crap out of his ass with like, oh, since Itadori actually learned how to use cursed energy techniques and stuff, that means
I forgot that all his cursed energy was coming from Sukuna, because I thought he had a good. I thought his whole thing was that he had good control over his cursed energy. He just doesn't have a cursed technique. But no, he literally had a special situation where he was getting carried by the fact that he had a
demon. Is that this Naruto situation?
Yeah, literally Naruto, nigga. Imagine if fucking goddamn Kurama just got up and went in Sasuke instead. Said, hey,
bro, Naruto would be over. The show would be over.
Nah, Naruto literally would still be stupid. And Naruto would literally still be dumb. He doesn't even need Kurama, to be honest.
Honestly, if Kurama went in Sasuke, that'd really be raps.
Oh no, yeah, if you're fighting Sasuke with Kurama, in him, it's raps. But like, I think Naruto's still a formidable opponent, though.
Yeah, but he's not that good. He's not that good.
Like all Kurama does is afford him to just be able to throw Rasen Shurikens over and over again. But at the end of the day, he still was on a skill level to use a Rasen Shuriken. Like
Kurama afforded him Deus Ex Machina. That he afforded him that speed boost. He afforded him that.
At some point, the fall into a consciousness and Kurama shit, doesn't even play into a part anymore. It just simply became, oh, I'm actually that guy.
Then it became
I don't
working
need that.
Again.
I'm strong as fuck. I got all these techniques. The only thing you're doing is just you're just an extra battery pack that I got. Like you're literally just an extra supply of chakra at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him that. He's definitely raised his level to the point where, God, now we're on fucking Naruto.
Oh yeah, no, this is just we're just whiffing.
No. Anyway, it's like it's just weird with his whole Kurama situation, because it's just like he is still that nigga in a sense, but yeah, significantly less so without Kurama, just because Kurama was his literal power scale. That was his scaling. Like that was how a kung fu master can match the power of a gun in a way without having to become a gun. Like that was just his power scaling, and now he's kind of lost his power scaling, and he's just falling off super hard.
Yeah.
But man, just in a
that's
like that's like one of them YouTube fan animations where Sasuke dies, so Naruto takes his eyes and gets the Rinnegan and gets a Susanoo and gets to use the.
Yeah. Wait, losing Tengen, what does it even mean? Like what?
So basically, he's gonna make
Tengen, right?
That thing that could talk, yeah. That weird thing in a tree, yeah.
Was that so after from the black hole?
No, that was after the black hole thing. After he killed Yuki, he just went up and took that nigga.
Or Tengen has he's just been putting out a projection, but he was actually asleep inside that tone.
Yeah, he's putting out a projection. That wasn't actually his body. Because he's supposed to merge with somebody, the star vessel kind of shit. every so often, and I think he just merged with Yuki, or he was gonna merge with Yuki or some shit. But either way, now it's now Kenjaku has him, and he's just gonna merge him with the world. So now everybody's just gonna, I guess, have cursed energy or some shit, or some weird. I can't remember what the weird plan with what he was gonna do with his body, or do with him. But you can be assured it's not good, and that's the problem. Is that I don't really like manga where they just lose that hard. It's lame at that point. I'm just gonna say it. It sounds wham wham, but I want my goddamn main character to got some kind of win under his belt.
Well, actually, the reason why he even looks the way he is because of them failing last time.
Who, Tengen?
Yeah.
Yeah, because what's her face died. Yeah. I mean, that was so crazy though. That was just such a crazy situation that I don't know. I don't know what they could have done, but it doesn't matter. She died. And that was the whole point.
Toji Fujiguro could just not exist.
Yeah, but then if he didn't exist, who would have killed him?
Yeah.
Nah, somebody else probably would have just killed her then. There was a lot of other niggas too.
What was up with him anyway?
He was a mercenary, bro.
So
heavily restricted.
Somebody did just...
Yeah, somebody just hired him to do it. And he said, yeah, sure, I'll do it, because I don't give a fuck. I just like fucking shit up, because I'm a fuckhead. It's like, oh, that's cool. Hey, can you, fuck everybody up, fuckhead? Yeah, sure. Yeah, no. That's something. That's funny, though. That's just funny that's just Megumi's dad, and he's just that guy, but he got blasted by Gojo.
Literally got hit with the infinity beam.
Dang. He literally helped that nigga Gojo achieve Nirvana.
By being a menace.
He killed that nigga. He brought that nigga back and made him the strongest nigga ever. And that's crazy. Because, yeah. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter now since, he's locked up. But that was an interesting thing for Toji. I guess just to see Fushiguro's dad. That was a weird...
Who else was using heavily restriction? Who was the other heavily restriction? Maki, right?
She is now, yeah. I guess. And I can't remember who else had a heavily restriction. I think it was somebody else. I can't remember. I gotta actually, I have to look up who all the heavily restricted niggas is.
But Maki naturally just didn't have curse energy, right?
Yeah, when she fused with her sister, then she got some form of curse energy. But she also still technically doesn't even really have it.
Because she fused with her sister and then used heavenly restriction, right?
I guess the fusion with her sister just happened to make the heavenly restriction or something like that. It's just weird. It's weird. Muda Kokichi also has heavenly restriction. That's who it was, Mechamaru. Because he's heavenly restricted to the robot. Well, not
apparently
anymore.
the wiki it said she always had just a little bit of cursed energy, and when she refused with her sister, she was able to escape it, and that caused her heavenly restriction.
So yeah, the sister thing is what caused... Because now she's just like Toji, so... Yeah. Because I guess she just couldn't access it in a way, like, whatever. That's weird. When you actually gain it, it's just now you can, you're just the biggest badass who can't really see these niggas. Or
alright, well, let's get into this One Piece. We held off Oda long enough.
Fuck Oda. I hate that nigga. All my homies hate Oda.
Getting you back.
Alright, so, holla. So, we got this dude. Okay. He had this fruit. Okay. He be stretching. He be doing shit.
Okay.
You feel me?
Okay, so are you gonna actually talk about that?
Alright, so that's enough about One Piece. Man, One Piece has been really a blur. So let's see. One Piece, if you aren't caught up in One Piece, I don't blame you. It's trash. But some of One Piece, we're past Kaido, we're past all that. We're finally out of Wano. We're in the good lands. Not really, we're in Egghead, which is Dr. Vegapunk, who's been a rumored doctor. Back. Nah, we're the first time on Egghead.
I thought.
Nah, but he's... that niggas ain't never been the Egghead, not even Dr. Vegapunk. Cause that's Navy shit. I don't think. I mean, it probably got mentioned or so, but yeah, they haven't been there themselves because that's like it was supposed to be government run, and it was government run because Dr. Vegapunk did work with the government and everything. But now where we are currently, it's doing typical shonen where all the characters split up and they get into wacky groups. So we got Luffy working with his old arch nemesis in not Marineford, Water, whatever the hell it was, Watertown. Rob Lucci, who has also, Oda has deigned to give him an awakened fruit, which is, he's awakened his leopard fruit. Now he's damn near getting up to the level of fighting. He's fighting Luffy on par for a sec with his Nika awakened and everything like that. Now, mind you, I guess Luffy still comes up ahead, but Rob Lucci was throwing hands with Luffy while he was in Sun God Nika mode. So there goes his power boost. The other CP niggas who don't really have fruits like that, I think the giraffe nigga may still have a fruit. Maybe he might. Yeah, I think he was a giraffe. But he's also he's just able to shoot his little wind kicks harder. He's better. And they're fighting these seraphims who are the warlords, basically clones, mixed with some of King from Kaido's, Kaido's crew's DNA. So they basically just made nigga versions with wings and fire on their back, who's extremely durable. See, that's a nigga fish right there. And
look at the Kumas.
Yeah.
The big ass Kumas.
Yeah. The fucking black Kuma. Yeah, and then like the Seraphim are cool, and then she's also
actually just big black, black.
They're black versions of they're black versions of the warlords, bro. There's Black Mihawk right there, Black Boa Hancock right there, and then for some reason,
wait, I think they're green.
Green?
Yeah.
No, I think their skin. I think their blood is green, but their skin is like brown because they keep calling Zoro the nigga hunter, and he fought King, and King was brown. And he actually says in this chapter, he describes King with his brown. I just couldn't tell with his brown skin and his white hair, and I was like, no way. That's nuts.
Nigga hunter.
They date the meme. The niggas keep calling Zoro the nigga hunter because of that nigga in that one nigga who was working for Crocodile. He was a nigga.
Oh no, they are. They're like tan.
Yeah. They're like tan. But I'm pretty sure the guys, King's race was like slave race, so I'm pretty sure that was just a little, I think they try to call him black. Or at least type of native. But the Seraphim are very strong, despite being children. So that's a problem. Because, they're really, really strong. Like, Boa Hancock's Seraphim actually just took out, like, one of the Vegapunks and Usopp and them just not really took out but froze them. And that Stussy, she's actually, it's funny, she's a clone of Whitebeard's baby mama, who was a rock pirate. And she's really strong because she has like some, I think she can like, she's like a vampire in a way or something like that. But basically right now what they're going through in the situation on here is that the government is there, Rob Bellucci and his niggas is there, CP, Cypher Pole, they're there to go kill Dr. Vegapunk because the government wants to cover up, government stuff about poneglyphs and all this forbidden knowledge they don't want. Now they're willing to risk losing a great mind like Dr. Vegapunk. So it's a classic government assassination kind of story. That's Whitebeard's actual son, I believe. And that's I think they caught him. And that's that young chick you just saw earlier. That's the real version of her down there. That old lady. Who's, I guess Whitebeard, knocked that up. So that's something.
I don't see who you talking about.
She's that young chick. Yeah.
Okay, she must have looked differently.
Way back then, she was.
How the hell you get
she was. If you scroll back up, it's that young chick you see all the way back up, who's not a Seraphim. That like white chick you see, but
that white chick is not a Seraphim.
But she also gave birth to that giant man.
Like this.
Well, let me let the screen catch up. Yeah, the chick off to the left. Yeah, that's her clone. because I'm not sure why he cloned her. I guess just because she was strong. But so she's there assisting them, and it's a big just kind of battle royale situation right now. They're actually because this chapter is a little bit before the Seraphim went crazy again.
Chapters actually just look like a mess. Like it looks.
They are a mess. That's what I'm telling you, bro.
Look at this and
there's so much going on.
People actually actively just be reading this every week. Like how the hell?
I know.
This look like Sunday comics. this don't look like a manga. This look like Sunday comics.
No, it's not the reading part. The reading is the problem. It's the enjoying part that's the problem. I can't enjoy it.
This shit literally look like some other shit, bro. I'm like, it don't look like a manga. Y'all come back and be looking at these words sprawled. I can't keep track of what the hell going on. They look ugly. Like, what the fuck is this? And this is me. This One Piece is his thing, so I casually consume it. You know what I'm saying? I be know what be going on. Man.
Listen, I don't consume this with love.
I gotta be an anime only man. That's the thing. I need to go.
You gotta watch. I can't watch the anime. The anime is really ugly. I couldn't do the anime.
The anime actually looks pretty good recently, as far as the fights and stuff.
Yeah, but it's just so long-winded that I can't even be bothered. I'd be skipping through a lot of this.
I mean, y'all be looking at this book,
where I don't get the
y'all really be looking at this book. What the hell is this?
Honestly, the manga kind of hard, bro. The manga is really hard.
Sometimes I really do appreciate looking at some of the things that he draws. Obviously,
yeah, like
he is
figure on that nigga.
He's created some iconic shit. But bro, it just be falling off. I'm speaking from this perspective. I'm speaking from this perspective of following along.
Yeah, because there's so much just on the screen.
It looked like a mess.
It looks like a fight scene in a Spider-Man comic where there's just Kong, pow, just like everywhere on the screen. So you're like, okay, when that intro's in a movie where your eyes are darting across the comic. Oh yeah, yeah.
Bet it.
So yeah, right now we're on Egghead, and they're basically trying to get Vegapunk out of there, which it's interesting enough. There's like actually, I think like how many 6-7 Vegapunks, because he split his mind into different bodies because he felt like he was too smart and he wanted to delegate his smartness so he could actually get stuff done. And so the real Vegapunk is the Stella, basically the center, and they're there to hunt the Stella. The government is to kill the Stella and get rid of the Vegapunks. I think they're going to kill all of them anyway, but basically the satellite Vegapunks, which are all the robots. I think most of them are robots. So that one chick and the big girl and that little nigga who's talking with the thing on his helmet. Well, he's not little, but yeah, they're all like fucking robots in a way, but also like androids probably. And they're there to kill them. And the craziest thing is this last chapter was kind of hard because if you go to the actual end of the last chapter, that dude with the helmet got literally blown away, headshot, the clear headshot. Now, if he retcons that in the next chapter, that'll be so crazy. But no, that man actually got smoked.
Wait, at the end of what chapter? You talking about chapter 17, 17?
The most recent one. So no, it's not these. It's like, what's it called? What's the number?
Oh damn! No, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, Lily Shaka, because that's his name. He just bam smoked, and it's one of those scenes where you see the gun click. And he's like, Shaka, who's that you brought with you? What? Boom. Like, that was a cold scene. I'll give Oda that. Oda can make some cold scenes, even though I know the next chapter he's going to be perfectly fine, or it doesn't matter because he's an android. So, of course he's going to show a little bit more gore when it comes to shooting an android to death. But I'll give Oda his props that when Whitebeard got messed up, even though Whitebeard is a human, he showed Whitebeard half of his face. Burned off.
Wet?
Yeah. Wet? Click. Boom. Like, what? And then just gone. And we don't know what it is because right now we have the most unlikely of situations going on where enemies are working together. So the Straw Hats are working with their enemies, and that might be a trap. We don't know if one of the Cypher Pole niggas got away and are actually killing the Vegapunks. Because it could be that
what is the Straw Hat goal right now?
The Straw Hat goal, right now they just actually ended up on Egghead by accident. So they're, of course, still trying to find the One Piece and blah, blah, blah. So trying to find Poneglyphs. But now at the current moment, it's to save that big-headed nigga you see in the middle of the screen because he's, probably like the smartest man in One Piece. And the government wants to kill him. So, the Straw Hat's got to save him. Because Luffy's like, yeah, sure, we'll save him, I guess.
What?
Just because, I guess. Now, mind you, you would think that it wouldn't really need to be saving because that man has those pacifistas and those, the little niggas, the Seraphim. And, man, those pacifistas were already a threat enough. Those big Kumas. Those little niggas are an actual menace. They are actually, that little Mihawk and that little Kuma are crazy. That Jinbei, crazy. Goddamn, the Boa Hancock, they're all just durable and crazy. Now, they do have the weakness, of course, of, seawater. They're not invincible, but essentially,
why does everything hate seawater in this book?
Because devil fruit, bro.
They got devil fruit?
Nah, they did, yeah, they actually got devil fruits. Even Mihawk's thing, I think. Because they probably just gave him one. But we're not entirely sure if they've copied the devil fruits. Because we're assuming that has to be the thing, because I don't think Boa Hancock is dead or have lost her devil fruit power. And I don't think, right. I mean, of course, Kuma's alive. So, and since there's pacifistas that can use his power, then it must be the case of copying.
So this dude, he created, like, the Kumas and all
this technology. Essentially, he created all of that. And, it's there's a lot of hidden messages and stuff like that, and a lot of hidden blah 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 here and there. But it's it's believed that he's of course not. He didn't do this out of malice, and Kuma was his friend, and Kuma asked him to hide away his memories or his not exactly his memories, but his emotions and his pain. So like, there's a big ball of Kuma's pain somewhere in there that they just have because I guess there might just be a bigger plan at play. As far as we know right now, though, Kuma is just a whatever he is with a goal, and we don't know what it is exactly. He's just trying to get somewhere. He's even running away from his own allies at the Resistance, who actually saved him and trying to fix him. Because I think he's also just kind of a robot now. I think they kind of turned the real Kuma into a robot. So that's a weird line. There's a weird line going on with all this. There's that Kuma, the Seraphim. There's a bunch of pacifistas who... They might just be robots.
Kuma, and then you got the pacifistas.
And then you got real Kuma, who's probably in now. But he's, I don't know if he's exactly...
You just be having all the serious stuff going on, and this is the last thing that Oda wants to draw.
Yeah. Because then they're like, hey, bro, we clearly got to work together. So how about you? They did the typical face. I was like, no, wait. He brought it back. I hate Oda. But,
they looking disgusted because they're looking at.
Because Rob Lucci just told them, "Nigga, we gotta work together." And Rob nigga, Rob Lucci, ain't you the nigga that tried to take my crew member and kill her, and you've participated in a lot of bad. We don't fuck with you. We don't fuck with you. But I mean, I guess they just can't take these Seraphim, which is crazy to me. This is crazy because mind you, these is niggas who went toe to toe with Kaido and Big Mom. Not just the fact of, because he did get bopped up by this nigga Kaido, I'll admit, and it was a long, crazy battle of twisted turns. But he is now a Luffy who has the Sun God Nika. He can use his Gear 4 without consequences, and he can't really take these pacifists or these Seraphim. Now maybe it's just because Rob Lucci and are there, and the pacifistas, god damn it, they're fucking Seraphim. The Seraphim are trying to kill everything kind of in there. So they are aiming for Rob Lucci and them. And for some reason, Luffy and Zoro don't want to let them die because One Piece. But, yeah. So it's a weird situation. They just, I don't know if they can actually not fight these niggas because the way they're acting like they can't just take these niggas. They acting like they really can't spank these two kids. And mind you, big kid right there is a nigga. Look at him. He got them shoulders forward. That is a different kind of nigga. But we're just in one of those weird One Piece situations where we won't really know anything until it's organized. It's still so disorganized, we're still thrown in the chaotic loop. So all you need to know about One Piece, big fight, and a lot of confusion. It's not. There's nothing's revealed yet. We're waiting for information, but as you can see, it's hectic, and things are looking to be like it's going back and forth. Now they released Rob Lucci and they released that nigga, and so they're fighting back the pacifistas, and they actually kind of bopped them one good time, like team attacks. But right now, yeah, it's just there's a lot of unclear things because with One Piece and Oda's writing, it's just too chaotic. There's 8 things going on in 8 million different places at the same time, and then you just have to focus on each and every one of them, but for like a fraction of a second. Like, see, we get this epic panel of them bopping these pacifistas, but when they get back up, it's like, hey, what? Like, we just hit them with like 2 tons of Kaki power. Why didn't they go down? And then Zoro finally remembers, oh yeah, something about the flame on their back like shows their vitality. So they can't. I mean, we'll know when they go down when that happens. So we still don't even have information on how strong they are. We just know that they can take a lot of punishment, and we know they can deal a lot of damage. And generally, if you can take a double attack from Rob, Lucci, and Luffy, the power scaling is getting out of hand, honestly. And we really don't know how Vegapunk ended up trapped in there. We know he got taken, but we don't know how he ended up getting trapped down there with the other people who were they were Cypher Pole agents that went missing around Egghead, and that's why Rob Lucci and his crew went searching Egghead, essentially, as also to get rid of Vegapunk. But right now we're getting made privy that something may happen to the likes of the whole island getting eradicated, because they're probably going to do the same thing they did to where Robin's from, that they did to they're going to do to Egghead. So it might be some giant devil fruit satellite beam or some, I don't know, something that will surely blow up the island. Oh yeah, and we gotta love the panel of Shanks about to go fight Kid, because they're still taking on warlords and stuff like that, because they feel just
they just want.
I guess they just it's part of the journey. They were gonna have to fight them anyway at some point because they are becoming the niggas, and since they aren't warlords themselves, it's like, all right, bet Straw Hat got that because he beat down some warlord. Bet I'm gonna go fight Red Hair Shanks. And I think last time Kid actually fought Shanks.
Kid, they also want to take his polygraph, right? I guess.
Yeah, they want his poneglyph because One Piece and all. But Kid has just a bone pick with him too. Polygraph.
It's poneglyph.
The Kid just has a bone to pick because that nigga cut off his arm, so that's also a thing too.
Oh, he cut off Kid's arm?
I believe so. I believe they said the last time they fought, he took he took your arm. And it wasn't probably even Shanks. I think it was just his. Oh yeah, see, there it goes. Like, I think his niggas just did it, and that makes sense because Shanks niggas is literally just the niggas. So I don't know how this whole battle with Kid and everything's gonna go. Maybe they won't die, but Shanks has been showing he's becoming a little bit more, active.
Bro, your right hand man doesn't even have a fucking devil fruit anymore.
Yeah, and that should have said something about like Killer.
Although Kid is like awakened at this point now.
Barely. He's not really on the level of awakening that like Luffy and Doflamingo and them are. Like him and Law, they have like a fraction of awakening from what we saw on Wano. Maybe they've gained a little bit now more because they've been out at sea. Maybe they've been doing some practicing. But from what they were saying, they could barely pull out the potential of awakening in the most slight way.
Yeah, they definitely can't take Shay's crew on. So what the fuck is
Probably not. I don't know. That's why I'm like, this kind of looks so goofy because it's like, okay, y'all gonna go fight the red hair pirates after y'all got bopped last time, and I don't know. I don't know what Kid's whole like. I don't know. This doesn't look that entertaining. It looks like a child going to get bopped by their daddy.
Literally just about to just get smocked.
Like, I don't know if it's going to be some crazy thing where he just flips on our head and it's like, oh yeah, we get back there and Kid somehow got away with what he wanted, or he actually bopped Shanks for some reason, or some crazy thing. But if logic proceeds, there's no way Kid ever gets close to Shanks again unless Shanks gets up in his face, in which case he's probably already dead or on the floor. So I don't know what Oda's point is. And then I don't know, I think Law is supposed to be fighting somebody else, I think. might be fighting Blackbeard, actually. Last one we saw Law, I think he was fighting Blackbeard. So that's also interesting.
That also seems like he's going to get smook schmucked.
Yes, because there's...
Why are these getting these smook schmuck battles? Why do you keep...
I don't know. It's weird because I think it did happen. I think I did see that chapter where like it was like Law was like shit Blackbeard, but I think there's nobody on his crew. There's just nobody on his crew who can do anything besides him. Like
wait, Blackbeard?
No, Law's crew. Blackbeard has goons on deck.
Got niggas.
He's definitely given all the niggas. Yeah, Jesus Burgess. Yeah, he gave that niggas. He gave all the niggas devil fruit, so it don't even matter.
Burgess it's just got a devil. Well, I think he always had one, right?
Nah, he gave him one at some point, but I can't remember when he get. I think he was gonna have the Mara Mara at one point, and he just didn't. He couldn't get it because they took it from him. So, or they took it from that tournament. So because they wanted Ace's fruit, but well, Sabo has that. But yeah, it's just I think he gave him like a different fruit, and he gave all those niggas just different fruits. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Kid and Law, who may just end up dead or in worse situations than they were before, or just like might lose their like their crew, even because man. It's very unfortunate that the supernovas, they're really not making them to be that cool, besides, of course, Luffy and sometimes Law. But now, at this point, if he gets just bopped again, who cares? So, and then Luffy himself is just barely even cool enough, even with the new form, because he got bopped by Kaido so many times. I was like, roll my eyes, shaking my head.
Shaking my head.
But like, and then this goofy thing even happened too, where she just started turning them all to stone. It's like, bro, y'all are supposed to be like the niggas. Y'all supposed to have power. Y'all supposed to be cool. But they're just making them lame. Like, Usopp was already lame. But don't make him... man, that's the thing about One Piece. That's why I can't like One Piece. Because One Piece is doing the same old thing it always does. It resets. It washes the old clothes and resets them. Now, clothes, I mean, that's one thing. But for a series, it sucks. Because we're just getting a rehash of whole cake. We're getting a rehash of, I don't know, just Rosa. A rehash of this, that, and that, and this, and that, and the fourth. So it's like, we'll see when they do something interesting. But right now, it's the same old. So One Piece is One Piece. Let's move on. Unless you have some closing statement.
Yeah, I think that's probably just gonna be it for this episode. I know I said we were gonna do One Punch Man, but we seem like we covered enough time just talking about those three, so I guess that's it. I guess we said everything. This was a pretty good chat. This was a good chat.
Your little 2 hours. It wasn't meant to be the most lengthy one. We just, want to come back in, just dive on back into the podcast.
Yeah, recap some shit, kind of give our thoughts about the bulk that we did have. From this point forward, we're just going to do more weekly, just talk about the weekly chapters from this point forward. Maybe if we reread, learn new interesting things, we'll share more thoughts, whatever. But for the most part, just covering the weekly chapters. And then we also decided that so I guess instead of One Punch Man, the fourth slot is just going to be dedicated to something that we're just reading. So right now we're reading Agent. So for this point forward, we're just going to be covering like weekly chapters from these main three: One Punch Man, Juju, and One Punch. I mean, and One Piece.
He said One Punch Man, Juju, One Piece, and One Punch.
One Punch and One Piece.
One Punch, and more One Punch. Did you know this is sponsored by One Punch?
And One Punch and One Piece. All right, so Chainsaw Man.
We get sponsored by One Punch?
No, we can't get sponsored by One Punch.
Look, send us the sponsor, please.
What would they sponsor us with? A fucking with some hoodies? The
Overwatch.
Opie fucking hoodies or whatever the fuck that shit.
Hey, that's hard, bro. Just getting the sponsor off would be a big brag enough, honestly.
But yeah,
just to get the sponsor off.
For the most part, yeah, Chainsaw Man, One Piece, Juju. If we feel like talking about like maybe sharing some thoughts on like One Punch Man or some random shit, we would. You know this.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty of other crazy shit I'm reading. So
but for the most part, the that slot is just open to just whatever we always gonna have like just some random book that we're gonna agree to read, and we're gonna read through it, and we're just gonna share our thoughts. We might shit on it, we might like it, whatever. It's just gonna be just. I've already read through Agent. I don't remember too much of what happened, but I remember enjoying it. So I'm kind of actually going through with almost like a fresh mind at this point because I can't recall much of what happened. I just remember like really enjoying it. So Agent is what we dedicated to just be reading for a bit. So these next few episodes we'll just be sharing our thoughts. I don't know how many episodes it would take to complete that one, but I'm sure it's not gonna be that long. And yeah, that's about it, man. Good stream. This is fucking Wolves Den, you know, with the Moids.
The Moids.
We out of here, man. Wait, is there somebody live right now?
Yeah, Scott Jen.
I don't fuck with that guy. I definitely don't fuck with that guy. So
we love Scott Jen over here. We love white men. We love Twitch. We love.
I will never host that, man. Shit, I guess we could just give it to Woofy. I mean, she's live. Fuck it, I don't know.
That's how you feel.
I'm gonna send y'all to Woofy. Go ahead.
Scott Jen, but your host Wolf. You don't want to host Admiral Baru.
Yeah.
But all right.
Yeah. See you guys. Appreciate y'all for showing up.